Welcome to Insurance Insights with Jason Coulter, a weekly live informational show discussing all types of insurance products. You can catch him every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on your Facebook and YouTube channels. If you would like to join a live show with Jason, send us a message. Now, here's your host, Jason Coulter.
Good evening, everybody. Hope you're having a good evening here in Kentucky. It is cold. It's been cold about all day today as we're sitting here expecting more snow. I mean, crazy Kentucky weather. I don't know if you guys seen my video or not, but this past Sunday it was just crazy. About midnight, Saturday night, it was about 60 degrees and flooding here. We were being flooded out, and the next morning we get up, the temperatures drop, and it's snowing like crazy. And, hey, what can you say? It's just Kentucky weather, and that's the way it is here in Kentucky. It's good to have you tonight with a short program of Insurance Insights. This is just a program that we wanted to start doing to help folks better understand insurance products. And the last couple of weeks, we've had a couple great friends of mine on. Thomas Coy and Eric Whitmer has been here talking about Medicare. Hopefully you found those programs to be interesting, as Medicare is a big subject. It's I've been in training the last few weeks, going through a lot of different types of classes and things on Medicare, and just a lot to it. So kind of what we want to do with these programs every week is just give you an opportunity to sit in and listen about different types of insurance, whether it would be Medicare or life insurance, term, whole life, long-term care insurance, cancer policies, which is actually what we're going to be talking about tonight just for a couple minutes here, and just a very informational type program, educational type program is what we want to do every week. So I'm not going to have any guests on with me tonight. I'm going to try to wing this on my own. But let me begin the program tonight by saying this, that I know here in our area where I live in Lincoln County, Kentucky, it seems like there's just been an uptick in cancer diagnosis. A lot of friends of mine right now are going through either treatments themselves or maybe with a spouse. Folks that I know that have just recently had a terrible diagnosis of cancer, and it's completely devastating. I'm thankful tonight that at this point in my life, I've not had to deal with that, but I know statistically, more than likely at some point, my family, immediate family, could be affected by cancer. And so I've had loved ones in my family that have passed away from cancer. I had a grandmother passed away in 1990 from pancreatic cancer. And I realize how hard a cancer diagnosis is on a family. It affects every aspect of your life. I've got a great friend right now whose wife is going through treatments, and he's a business owner. And I know how, just that one doctor's report, that one appointment, completely, just makes your whole life come to a stop. Your work, things that you're just used to doing. Cancer is a horrible disease. It affects a lot of families. It's not at all a good thing when somebody gets a cancer diagnosis. Now, on the flip side, there's been a lot of folks that I know that have beat cancer. They have gone into remission. We've had folks in our church that have been healed of cancer, miraculously healed of cancer. And I know that God can do miraculous things. I don't doubt that. And so tonight I just want to say, if you are one that is currently going through cancer treatments and things, medical stuff has come a long way over the years. There's so many things that can be done now. Treatments are good. A lot of folks are beating cancer, and they're overcoming it. However, during the course of treatments and being off work and things, there's a lot of expense that goes into that outside of just traditional health care, or whether you're on Medicare or whatever. I know Eric and Thomas has talked about the last couple of weeks gaps in coverage, stuff that your insurance does not pay for. And so, these policies that we sell, that's what they're designed to do. They're designed to fill the gaps of what traditional health insurance won't pay or Medicare does not pay. And so tonight we're just going to look at a kind of an inexpensive policy, I think. I just took this out on my family, and I know what I'm paying a month for the coverage, and I'm so thankful tonight to have found. I told somebody here a while back, being in the insurance industry since 2005, I've seen a lot of different types of insurance, and I've seen cancer policies come and go. I know back several years ago, and many of you may have an old Commonwealth, Monumental, Transamerica cancer policy. And honestly, they don't do cancer insurance anymore, but you may be one that has the old Commonwealth, Monumental cancer policies. Those are good policies. I've seen a lot of claims paid on those types of policies. A good friend of mine right now is having claims filed on an old Commonwealth cancer policy. And so it's good to have this type of insurance if something happens that your family faces something like cancer. So statistically, I just pulled this up for 2025. The estimated number of new cancer cases in the United States right now is the estimated amount is 2,041,910 brand new cases estimated this year of cancer. With that, the estimated death toll would be 618,120 deaths estimated for 2025 this year. And that's a lot. That's a whole lot. Most common cancers in men: prostate cancer, lung cancer, colon cancer. Most common cancers in women: breast cancer, lung cancer, colon cancer. There's just all types of different types of cancer. What happens whenever you get a cancer diagnosis? Well, we said earlier, your life comes to a standstill. Many times folks can't work. They can't. I know currently right now, a great friend of mine, his wife's been going through chemo and radiation treatments. They've been having to go back and forth to Lexington a whole lot, and it's affected their jobs. It's affected the fact that, rather than working today, I have to go to a doctor's appointment and get a treatment. So there's a lot of things you have to think about whenever you might have good health insurance. Most people's got great health insurance. That's a good thing. But there's so many costs that healthcare coverage don't cover. And that's what I want to cover tonight with you just a little bit. So what is cancer insurance? Y'all have heard me talking about that. I am with a company called American Senior Benefits, and we offer a great deal of all kinds of different products through various carriers. I tell folks a lot of times I've got access to about 200 companies that I can look to get you the best deal possible on your life insurance, your cancer insurance, your long-term care insurance. I do Medicare supplements, Medicare Advantage, a lot of different things that we offer through American Senior Benefits. And so the one that I want to talk about tonight just for a few moments is our cancer policy. And so I pulled these up. Here's the brochure. This is underwritten through United National Life. We abbreviate it UNL Cancer Shield. It's the first diagnosis rider that you can add to the policy to have. And so there it is, UNL Cancer Shield Scheduled Benefit Plan. So how does this thing pay if you were to be diagnosed with cancer? Many seniors are under the impression that Medicare covers all cancer treatments. But did you know that radiation therapy, how often is it covered? Medicare Part A, the hospital part of your Medicare, covers radiation therapy for hospital inpatients. Medicare B insurance covers this therapy for outpatient or patients in freestanding clinics. Who's eligible? All people with Medicare Part A and Part B are covered. But however, look at your costs here. As an inpatient on Medicare, you would pay the Part A deductible and co-insurance. So that's out-of-pocket costs with your traditional Medicare. As an outpatient, you would pay a co-payment, and the Part B deductible applies as well. If you look down there, it says for therapy at a freestanding facility, you would pay out of pocket 20% of the Medicare approved amount for the therapy, and the Part B deductible applies as well. There at the note there at the bottom, your doctor or other healthcare provider may recommend you get services more often than Medicare covers, or they may recommend services that Medicare doesn't cover at all. If this happens, you may have to pay some or all of the costs. It's important to ask questions so you understand why your doctor is recommending certain services and whether Medicare will pay for them. I looked at that quick stats about cancer down at the bottom of the page. 1 out of every 3 women, cancer is expected to strike. 1 out of every 3 women. 1 out of every 2 men. Wow, that's a big one. And then 3 out of 4 American families will have to deal with cancer at some point. Cancer insurance, what does it do? Cancer insurance is money back in your pocket if you have a cancer plan. It pays you directly. It does not pay a doctor. It does not pay a hospital. It comes directly to you to help offset your income loss and different things like that. Let's look at this brochure real quick. Out-of-pocket costs for cancer patients on Medicare, this is just on Medicare, can top $8,000 a year out of pocket. I know for a fact. Great friends of mine, as I was saying, I know their out-of-pocket costs that they've had to fork over and spend. And, sometimes we have that extra income. Sometimes we don't have that extra income. And I'm just going to be quite honest with you. I don't have a lot of extra income, personally, to throw at out-of-pocket costs for cancer or a heart attack or a stroke that may come. So I believe in covering those with cancer policies, with heart attack policies, with income replacement policies. November 2016, researchers at Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health took an in-depth look at the out-of-pocket cost, OOP, associated with cancer for Medicare beneficiaries. The study concluded that the average out-of-pocket costs were between $5,492 and $8,155 annually for those on Medicare who had a cancer diagnosis. So that's a lot of money. That's a whole lot of money. And, tonight I just wanted to bring awareness to the fact that there are a lot of out-of-pocket costs associated with cancer. You take your travel, your deductibles on your insurance, treatments and things that maybe your health care does not pay for, that the doctor would recommend that you do. So how does a United National Life Policy Cancer Shield policy work in the event that you are diagnosed with some type of cancer? Let's see here. Pull this brochure up. So this policy provides cancer insurance as well as heart attack and stroke if you choose to add a rider on it to cover those two things. If you can just have the standalone cancer policy, and it will pay for the following benefits for treatment upon diagnosis of cancer. If you select the heart attack and stroke rider, you will receive the benefits on this page for heart attack and stroke as well as cancer. All right, so 4 plans here they're talking about. Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, and Plan D. So if you look there under Plan A, we'll go with that one tonight. Hospital confinement benefit. Days 1 through 70. Let's back up just a second. Right above that, up to $20,000 upon first diagnosis if the optional express pay rider is included. So that's an extra benefit that you can add to the policy to have up to $20,000 upon the first diagnosis of cancer. You would get, if you had that full amount, you'd get a $20,000 upfront check. Now, the hospital confinement benefit on Plan A would pay you $200 a day for days 1 through 70. And you would get that. Keep in mind, that comes to you. It doesn't go to a doctor or a hospital. That comes to you, $200 a day for days 1 through 70, and then $100 a day for days 71 through 90. The extended hospital confinement benefit begins with day 90 of consecutive hospital confinement, actual charges. During receipt of this benefit, no other benefits are payable under the policy except waiver of premium. So that extended hospital benefit would be $350 a day. There you can see that on Plan A. Keep in mind that these plans A, B, C, and D, they do go up in price. If you, for instance, Plan A would be the cheapest one. Plan D would be the most expensive one. It just depends on what kind of coverages you want to add into it. Attending doctor, up to, for services while hospital confined, actual charges, they would pay you $10 a day for the doctor. Nurse, private duty nurse, up to $50 a day. Surgical procedure, up to $2,500 for surgery. Anesthesia would be $625. Skilled nursing facility, up to $50 a day. And then non-local patient transportation, up to $500 a trip. Now keep in mind that these build, you take the hospital confinement and you get that per day, and the surgery benefit of $2,500. All that builds into one check for you, depending on what kind of treatments and things you had to have. So let me pull up my next one here. And let me get the right one here. Number 4 is what I'm looking for. Right there. There's your Plan A, Plan B. Family member transportation. So if you had a family member that had to make a trip with you for cancer treatments, under that Plan A option, it would cover $500 for the trip. If you traveled by automobile under that Plan A there, you would get 15 cents a mile for traveling by automobile for treatments. Family member lodging, it would pay you in your pocket. Keep in mind, these costs are in your pocket. They don't go to a doctor or a hospital. But family member lodging under Plan A, you would get $20 a day for that. Skip on down the middle page, radiation chemotherapy, up to $100 a day. So if you had to have radiation or chemotherapy, every day you had to go get that, you would get $100 in your pocket on the Plan A. Look over at Plan D. If you chose to go for Plan D on that same benefit, it increases to $300 per day. There's no coverage on the next one there. First radiation chemo treatment, nothing under Plan A. Plan B is $100, Plan C is $250, and Plan D is $500 on that option there. Oral chemotherapy treatment, $100 for the month on that. The Plan D plan offers $400 per month. Let's see. And then the last one there, prosthetic devices needed. Plan A would cover $250. Plan B would cover $1,000. Plan C $2,000. Plan D, $2,500. Again, let me stress this. Can't stress this enough. This money comes to you on a cancer policy. It does not go to a doctor. It does not go to a hospital. These plans are built to pay you for each treatment, for each hospital stay, for each different things that you had to get done. And it all builds into one check. So I've personally known folks back, especially when I was selling insurance with Monumental Life Insurance, we had folks that collected hundreds of thousands of dollars on these cancer plans. And it came in really handy whenever they needed it because they couldn't go to work or whatever. They had to have the income. And so they were able to collect on their cancer insurance. So what these policies are designed for is to give you money in your pocket when the worst case situations can happen in your life and in your family. If somebody's diagnosed with cancer, these policies are designed to give you back money in your pocket. The last page here, I think the last page. Yes. Let me pull it up. There under the Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, Plan D. Let's see. Bone marrow transplant, Plan A, don't have a benefit for that. Plan B would have a $2,500 benefit for that one. Plan C, $5,000. Plan D, $10,000. And then waiver of premium, you can add to that. They're all included. Premium payments will not be required if you're diagnosed as having cancer after the waiting period and while covered under the policy and are disabled due to cancer for more than 90 consecutive days. The disability must begin on or after the date of diagnosis. So that's a really cool benefit as well. So basically, while you're going through treatments, while you're having this horrible situation fighting cancer, you would not have to pay premiums on your policy. That would be excluded during that time. Let's pull this back up. I want to show you the optional riders that can be added to this policy. There you see there, heart attack or stroke. This option will pay a scheduled benefit for heart attack or stroke. Your benefits for this option depend upon which cancer plan you choose. So that's an optional rider that you can add to your plan that would cover heart attack or stroke. Express pay, the lump sum, is what I was talking about at the beginning. Upon first diagnosis of cancer, you pick the amount. This option pays a lump sum benefit of $1,000 to $20,000 upon first diagnosis of cancer. If you select both the heart attack and stroke option and the lump sum rider, a lump sum benefit will be paid upon diagnosis of cancer, heart attack, or stroke. That's a really cool benefit to have because first diagnosis of cancer, you're dealing with the mental fatigue, the stress of what you're going to do, what about work, all this stuff, and to have an immediate paycheck come to you in the amount of $1,000 to $20,000 would tremendously help in getting started on everything. You know, I tell folks the worst case scenario in any of these kinds of situations is to be diagnosed with cancer, and I know it could always be worse, but I'm just trying to think about my own personal situation. You know, how hard would it be to go through that stuff with your wife or with your kid or with you, and even during all that, you know, have to worry about how you were going to pay bills as well. So these situations are stressful, and these cancer policies can come in handy for certain situations, you know, if you have to do that. The last optional rider I want to look at, and I love this. I've never seen this on a cancer policy ever. And this last rider that you can add, I actually put it on mine because I want to know that if I don't ever get cancer, if I never have a heart attack or stroke, Heather don't ever have to use it, and as of right now, Jaden's covered under mine. If he don't have to use it, then the return of premium. Under this option, we will return 100% of all premiums, less any benefits paid upon the death or upon the cancellation after the rider has been in force for 20 years. for issue ages 18 through 60 and 15 years at issue ages 61 and 79. Okay, so to say that in our terms, so I can understand it, this policy, whatever your premium is, once you've had this policy in force for 20 years, and you say, I don't need it anymore, I don't want it anymore, we've got money in the bank, I don't have to worry about things no more, everything's paid off, I'm going to cancel this policy. If you've had it in force for 20 years and you were age 18 or 6 to 60 when you took it out, they will give you back 100% of the premiums paid in on this policy. You cannot lose on that policy. If you were age 61 to age 79 when you took this policy out and you included the return of premium rider, then you cancel it for whatever reason, and 100% of all your premiums come back to you during that time. You've not lost anything. The other option is you pass away, and all of your premiums paid into this policy would be refunded back to your beneficiary. So it's kind of like, you've got the coverage. If you need it, that's good. If you don't need it, that's also good because you've not lost anything. And the way I look at it, if something happens to me and I die, then Heather's going to get all the money back that I've paid into this policy. So it's a win-win situation for me, and hope and pray I never have to use my cancer policy, my heart attack policy, my stroke policy. But if I do have to use it, I've got it. But if I don't use it, then I can get all of my money back at some point, and it's not cost me anything. So that's one of the cancer policies that we offer. What I would like to do is continue maybe next week's program with a little bit more in-depth on these policies and how they work. Maybe you'll select a different policy. We've got a Manhattan life policy. We can talk about cancer insurance. I think there's different ones that we can discuss and talk about. So companies that offer cancer plans are kind of few and far between now. I told somebody when I first got with American Senior Benefits, I'm looking for a good cancer policy because in our area, folks need cancer insurance. And, it's something that I feel passionate about. I have it on myself. I'm not pushing it on you or trying to push it on you when I don't even have it myself. I have it for me and my family. I know how handy it's been for one of my good friends. I won't mention his name, but it's been a handy little thing for him to have during this situation that they're going through with cancer. If he was on here tonight, he'd tell you it's been great to have my cancer policy because it has paid and it's given us money back and things. So, call me if you have any questions. I can get you a free quote on these policies. As you've seen tonight, there's 4 different plans. We can build them a little differently depending on your situation, what you would like and what you want to add to it. The more you add to it, the more the cost goes up. So, just keep that in mind as well. It's something that we can talk about. I was going to try and quote one for you just so you would know kind of what that would be. Let me see if I can do it. Hopefully this will work. I'm going to share my screen, and I want to pull up quotes on my UNL quote and submit. I'm just going to guess an age tonight. Hopefully y'all can still see this. I've never done this before on here, so hopefully this is going to work. Maybe. Hopefully you can still hear me. Bring that back. Quote. There we go. Yep. That's what I want. All right, so I'm going to quote this on me. Jason Coulter. I'm a male. My birthday is 1/17/1978. for just quote purposes tonight, I won't add my spouse, just kind of give you an idea. I want this to start today. I want this to be, of course, it's in Kentucky. That's the only place I'm licensed to sell it. If you live in Kentucky, I can sell you one of these policies, no matter where you're at, where you live, as long as you're in Kentucky. So just to clear that up, let me make sure my screen switched. Yep, it switched. All right, so I'm 47 years old. I'm a male. I live in Kentucky. I want to pay this monthly. And I'm going to go down here to cancer. All right, so I'm 5'8". I weigh 174 pounds. I'm going to do, we talked about the option A, so let's do the option A tonight. And let's see here. Lump sum. Cancer, I want to, for just quoting purposes tonight, let's do cancer, heart attack, or stroke. And we're going to add $10,000 lump sum payment for cancer, heart attack, or stroke. And so what that means is if I'm diagnosed with cancer, I have a heart attack or a stroke, immediately, right off the bat, I'm going to get a $10,000 check. I always want to add the return of premium rider if possible, because again, that return of premium protects me. If I never have one of those three things, then I'm going to get my money back at some point, all of it, 100% of it. And so there you go. The Plan A through UNL, the Cancer Shield, it's got the $10,000 lump sum benefit for cancer, heart attack, or stroke. It has the return of premium rider, and it's going to cost me $43.98 a month. So that's so you kind of have an idea. I'm 47. We built that plan. It's going to cost me $43 a month, just so you kind of have an idea on that tonight. All right. I've been 32 minutes, a little longer than what I thought. I hope this has helped you a little bit to understand a little bit about cancer insurance. I don't claim to be a professional. That's Eric and Thomas that are professionals, and I will have them back on hopefully next week. We'll talk a little bit more in depth about cancer insurance, why it's important, all of that. Those of you watching, you understand that it is important to have it. I understand sometimes folks can't afford a cancer policy. There's been times in my life I could not afford to take a cancer policy out. But if it's something that you can afford to do and you want to do, and you think I need to get that, give me a call, 606-669-4687. I'll be glad to quote it for you. It's a very simple application, very simple underwriting on these policies. And keep in mind, they're money back in your pocket. They don't pay the doctor. They don't pay the hospital. Of course, you can do with it whatever you want to do with it. If you want to pay your doctor bill with it, you can, what your insurance don't pay. If you don't need it at the time and you want to give it away to your kids, I'm sure they would take it. And so anyway, there's always something you can do with it. But it is money back in your pocket on these cancer plans. So hopefully tonight this has helped you. Thank you for watching. Please share it. Insurance Insights with Jason Coulter. We're going to be doing them every week and talking about different things. If you got a specific topic you would like to talk about, send me a message. I'll make sure we get the right type of professional on to talk with you. I'm excited about doing annuities here before long. For those of you that don't know about annuities, I know, well, I'll leave it for the annuity program. But anyway, good to see you guys. Thank you all for watching. I'm getting sleepy. You can tell my eyes. I look very sleepy, very tired. And that I am tonight. So pray for me. I'll pray for you. And until next Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, be blessed. And I'll see you then. Good night.
You've been listening to Insurance Insights with Jason Coulter. Join us next week as Jason mentions universal life policies, whole life policies, term policies, annuities, and much, much more. You can reach out to Jason. Send him an email, jcoulter@asb.insure. Licensed since 2005.